How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation 5 has a stacked roster of games coming in 2023, 2024, and even beyond that. However, while the majority of the attention is on games such as Final Fantasy 16, you've got a lot of attention on Marvel Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Death Stranding 2, you can go on and on. There are a lot of games that aren't being promoted as much, and that's what I want to focus on in this video, and hopefully do more videos like this where we put some shine on games going a little bit under the radar, but PS5 titles you should definitely know about. We got a lot of variety in titles to go over in this video, single player titles, co-op titles, free multiplayer games, and so much more. Let's get right into it, and let's start things off coming from Rogue Factor. We have Hell Is Us. Hell Is Us is an incredibly atmospheric single-player action game. It notes, if war is the closest we get to hell on Earth, it's because Earth harbors the worst of demons. Humankind, in an isolated country ravaged by infighting, discover the secrets of your past and deal with the repercussions of a mysterious calamity. A hostile world, as well as the civil war dividing the country, the region is suffering from a mysterious calamity which has given rise to supernatural creatures that no modern weapon can defeat. Your drone and sword from a different age are your faithful allies as you cut a path through lands infested with terrifying chimeras and try to unravel the mystery of their appearance. It's a third-person action-adventure game that combines intense melee combat with the thrill of exploration. It's a semi-open world where you'll find answers to your questions and face mysterious creatures along your journey. A unique exploration system, no map, no compass, no quest markers. Following your instincts is part of the adventure. Enjoy a unique experience that uses innovative writing and level design to let you make your own decisions and follow your instincts as you explore. Your discoveries are yours alone. In combat against original creatures, swords, spears, and axes, a wide range of weapons forged specially for fighting these supernatural creatures is available. You'll need to learn how to fight these monsters and use your drone wisely to stay alive. Hell Is Us is scheduled for a release sometime in the future on PlayStation 5. Next up, we have Arctic Awakening, a first-person narrative adventure set in the unforgiving Arctic. Your plane crashed in a storm, leaving only your court-mandated therapy bot for company as you journey to find your co-pilot and uncover the mysteries buried beneath the ice. An open world title that seems to be very narrative driven. It was supposed to be a routine, a supply drop to an Alaskan town, autopilot on guard, down. You and Donovan were already planning post-mission drinks when it happened. The storm, half the plane disappeared in a flash. Donovan was gone, lost to the howling tempest. Waking from the crash, you find yourself alone, trapped in a frozen wilderness. Your only companions, a court-mandated therapy bot, and temperatures that can cut a man to shreds. Hope for survival lies in finding your friend and maybe a way home. You are Kai, a pilot without a plane, lost in the wilderness of the far north. You'll need to get your wits about you to brave the elements, find your co-pilot, and get the hell out of Dodge. Along the way, you might discover what it was that cut your plane clean in two and what it is making those noises after dark. A first-person narrative adventure set in the mysterious Arctic North where you and your robotic companion Alfie must search for your co-pilot and a way home. The game notes, exploration is key to unraveling the secrets that surround you, uncovering the mystery of your missing co-pilot, the source of the catastrophe that left you stranded, and maybe, just maybe, find a way home. In the Arctic Awakening, the environment itself is a character, one not always on your side. Dynamic weather meets each new area, never feels the same, and gorgeously realized vistas combined with an ever-changing world to create an atmosphere of discovery, potential, and fear. It's a first-person narrative adventure where you must first face the elements to uncover the mysteries around you. Stunning Arctic vistas to explore and secrets to discover, story-centric choices that will affect the relationships you build, and new episodes with more adventures, secrets, and characters. Arctic Awakening is scheduled for a release in 2023. Next up, we have the free-to-play action RPG in the first Descendant, a third-person cooperative action RPG shooter and where you play as descendants who inherited the unknown powers and make them stronger to fight against the invaders and protect human. The first Descendant is an action RPG where you become a descendant in a game and is given a mission to fight against the invaders for survival of humans and to protect the Ingress continent. The player can experience a spectacular story by going through a variety of missions and stories to finally discover the Descendants' secrets. You can also feel the first Descendants' unique atmosphere through high-quality fields developed with Unreal Engine 5 and gain a new experience of reality and science fiction fantasy coexisting in one place. Charming and unique characters, you can play various characters with distinctive concepts and battle styles. They're going to be adding a variety of customizable elements such as skins for each character to support character decoration, exciting battles, and dynamic action using various skills and firearms. Experience the first Descendants' exciting battles composed of various characters with unique unique skill sets, free movements, and chain actions through grappling hooks, colorful firearms, and additional effects. With these, the player can create any battle style they desire. Battles with huge boss monsters through cooperative play. You can target huge boss monsters with different appearances and abilities through 4-player cooperative play. The various difficulties will stimulate your competitive spirit, and you can destroy or extract various parts of the huge bosses through 4-player cooperative play. By targeting the huge boss's gimmicks, you'll be able to experience a more compact team play and motivating play and growth. You can equip a character with 3 guns, 4 secondary accessories, and various sub-weapons as well. Of course, there will also be items to enhance a character or their firearm stats or add a new ability altogether. A variety of equipment is a necessary element for growth, and you can obtain them through clearing scenario missions within the game or in the world missions where cooperation is crucial and battles with huge bosses. We provide equipment so you can develop characters to play continuously through character growth and acquiring and combining the various equipments. The first Descendant doesn't have a release window yet. It just had a beta period on PC. Hopefully, we'll see a full release late into 2023 or maybe early 24. Next up, we have a brand new third-person action RPG, Abyss World Apocalypse. Abyss World is a third-person action RPG title where players will explore the old tide in a vast land, explore its secrets, challenge the threats in the underworld, experience different stories, and write their own epic tale of adventure. The game's main stage is set in Nordia, a world full of ancient secrets where players can explore the vast open lands. In the game, players can travel to the farthest regions of the world, step into it eroded by the underworld, and gradually move towards the depths of the fog. A mysterious story plot, fight alongside and gather ancient souls from different realms and build relationships with them to learn their stories, connect and restore this world through your actions, and build your city of souls, and a dynamic world quest system rounding things out. Abyss World Apocalypse does not have a release window scheduled yet. Hopefully we'll see it sometime in 2024. Next up, we have Aftermath, a brand new sci-fi open world game. In Aftermath, players follow Charlie's journey through an unfamiliar European city, searching for her daughter and fighting not only an unearthly presence, but also her own demons. Charlie Gray was at the top of the world. A talented engineer and European astronaut, her career had brought her to where most people could only dream of, but following a re-entry to Earth gone wrong and the traumatic events that ensued, Charlie returns a broken spirit with her life spiraling into darker and darker places. Charlie now finds herself isolated in a deserted, defragmented world. The only thing she knows is that she has to find the one thing that still matters, Sammy. It notes to be a powerful human story. What form does humanity take when faced with unimaginable events? Do we unite and become stronger, or do we fall apart? Does our past still shape us, or do we find strength in focusing on what could be? Aftermath delves deeply into philosophical, psychological, and other questions that might get asked if we find ourselves in an impossible situation. A unique visual design with stunning aesthetics created by the brilliant mind of enigmatic Italian visual arts master Alessandro Bavari, the artist behind the design of Ridley Scott's Alien Covenant and Suspiria. Life and death are a mystery. Charlie is locked in a waking nightmare. What is happening, and why is a core mystery that plagues Charlie's every moment? If death isn't the end, then what is? And an original soundtrack. Charlie is being hunted by an unseen adversary. Unfold the mystery of this seemingly invincible hunter and use every facet of your arsenal to outwit them and survive. But what other forces could be lurking in the remains of the city and beyond? What fate has fallen humanity? Stay healthy and stay ready. Realistic crafting and a familiar setting. Explore a detailed recreation of a city steeped in history, defragmented by the terrifying power of an ancient alien artifact looming ominously above. Aftermath doesn't have a release window yet, but if you're remotely into story-driven narrative adventures, this is one that definitely should be on your radar for PlayStation 5. Next up, now this is a pretty notable franchise, but not a lot of buzz surrounding the Alone in the Dark reboot that will be coming to PlayStation 5. Coming from publisher THQ Nordic and developer Pieces Interactive, there will be a complete reboot of Alone in the Dark. Return to the manor and the reimagination of Alone in the Dark, a love letter to the 90s cult classic horror game. Discovering that her uncle has gone missing, Emily Hartwood goes looking for him with the help of private investigator Edward Carnby. Arriving at the manor, a home for the mentally fatigued, they encounter strange residents, portals to nightmarish worlds, dangerous monsters, and ultimately a plot of rising evil and its followers. A classic horror experience featuring combat, puzzle exploration, and story. While presenting a completely original story, we incorporate characters, places, and themes from the 90s original trilogy, play as Edward or Emily, and uncover the mysteries from two perspectives. Set in the gothic American South in the 1920s, the game features a noir setting with classic Lovecraftian horror elements where the familiar meets the surreal. Experience experience a deep psychological story that goes beyond the realms of the imaginable by Mikael Hedberg, cult horror writer of Soma and Amnesia. Great track record there. Trapped inside the Gothic mansion, you encounter mind-bending anomalies and fight back the evil that has infiltrated the house. The game is still relatively early on in development, so don't expect a release anytime in the too near future, but hopefully the Alone in the Dark reboot turns out well because this is an iconic horror franchise and hopefully it does deliver. Next up, if you're looking for a co-op title, a fast-paced one at that, RIPOUT should be on your radar. Coming from Pet Project Games and 3D Realms, RIPOUT is an online co-op horror FPS that will have players fight their way through procedurally generated derelict ships filled with mutants capable of reconfiguring their alien body. Survive with your trusty pet gun companion, collect loot, and customize your character to fit your playstyle. Looks to be a marriage of a variety of different genres. A co-op horror shooters will you'll fight your way through abandoned mutant-infested spaceships, collect loot, and customize your character in search of the last remaining bastion of humanity. Will you and your trusty pet gun find sanctuary in time, or will you perish alongside the rest of Earth's resident? Cooperative PvE gameplay, embark on a variety of missions and explore derelict ships alone or in small teams. High variety of reconfigurable monsters, fight genetically altered beings who are able to strengthen and reconfigure themselves by attaching smaller mutants to their bodies. The player will never know what to expect from their enemies. Living pet guns, stand your ground using your trusty pet gun and harness their power of the sentient biotech yourself and turn it against your foe. Weapon modifications and character classes, customize your weapon and choose between multiple character specializations to find the perfect mix for your playstyle. Quick action-packed missions, explore countless derelict ships in various short 10 to 20 minute missions and prepare for the unexpected. You'll never know what horrors lurk around the corner. You've got procedurally generated levels, scalable difficulty, and much more. RIPOUT is scheduled for release sometime in 2023. Next up, if you're a fan of racing games, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has been in development for a while and hopefully we'll get our hands on it soon. An open-world driving and lifestyle experience taking place in Hong Kong Island, built at 1-to-1 scale. Grab your keys and live your life of luxury. Remember, social status is everything in the world of Test Drive Unlimited. A driving and lifestyle experience unlike any other, the brand new Test Drive Unlimited keeps the DNA from the first games and revamps it for the modern era. You have the freedom to progress however you like. The classic open championship concept returns to live your best life, race, cruise, and hang out with your friends until the sun goes down and even after. You've got confirmations of Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Apollo, Dodge, and Bugatti. You'll have to really work your way up to have the privilege to drive them. Customization is not reserved for your cars only, but for your avatar as well, and even better than ever, you've got to dress to impress. An open-world racing title with a lot of investment, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will hopefully be released sometime in 2023. Next up, we have The Awakener Risen. This is an incredibly compelling action RPG. The Awakener Risen is scheduled to come to PlayStation in 2023. The war between demons and mortals lasts for thousands of years, and now it's time to end it. Build your warrior and fight against your demon, even slay the dragons in this medieval world. Obviously, an incredibly technically impressive game, a single-player open-map action RPG. It's set in a fantasy world, and it's been a game in development for a while. You've got a plethora of different heroes to play as well, and each of them will have a different playstyle, so you'll be able to tailor them exactly how you want. You'll have a variety of different customization elements. We still don't know a ton of information about it, but so far the gameplay we've seen has looked incredibly stylish, incredibly satisfying, and hopefully it does hit its 2023 release window. Lastly, we have the psychological horror game in Fort Solis. Fort Solis is a single-player third-person thriller set over one long night on Mars. Engineer Jack Leary responds to a routine alarm where events unravel and escalate out of control in a way he could never imagine. Fort Solis is a single-player third-person thriller experience set on Mars. Responding to an alarm call from a neighboring base, Jack arrives at a dark and desolate Fort Solis with storm warnings imminent. He heads inside to make contact. As the night grows longer, events escalate, spiral out of control, and the mystery of what happened to the crew begins to reveal itself. The storms arrive, limiting Jack's escape as he looks to hold out until morning arrives. The game is touting immersive storytelling. It's looking to deliver a high-fidelity experience designed to completely immerse the player in the cast and their long night. With performances from Roger Clark, Troy Baker, and Julia Brown, Fort Solis looks to deliver emotion, fear, empathy, and much more with every chapter. Supporting the core narrative are additional instances of stories such as audio logs, surveillance footage, or past or present events. events. Accompanying those are video logs recorded by all the crew detailing the events before and perhaps even after that night the alarm was triggered at Fort Solis. You'll be able to explore Fort Solis, built above and below ground. The base contains a variety of locations, each with their own surface and subsurface levels. Players will be able to explore the isolated storms bearing surface, the creepy surface tunnels absent of any light, or the multiple departments that help Fort Solis function on a day-to-day basis, such as engineering, medical, and communications. As the story unfolds, locations can easily be revisited as well for extra story context. Fort Solis is scheduled for a release in Q3 of this year. We'll see if that release window hits. Let's just hope it does hit 2023. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as all of the PS5 games coming. There are so many games, legitimately hundreds and hundreds of compelling titles that will be coming. And outside of the major titles that, again, all of you are excited for FF16, all of you are excited for Spider-Man 2, we could talk about Wolverine, Death Stranding 2, but there's a plethora of games that are going a little bit under the radar that could end up being standout titles. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.